can I ask you about 4 people, and you could give me a yes or no
Yeah.
if they're going to come back, and maybe you can elaborate, or you could plead the 5th if you want.
Yeah.
Fun game?
Sure.
Sasha Banks?
Time will tell. Yeah, time will tell. Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, communication breakdowns are terrible. And there's a communication breakdown there for whatever reason. Starting back up that communication, it's not a difficult process, but it can be a process, right? And you have to go through the process. But she's a unbelievably talented young woman that can do just about anything she wants. It just comes down to what does she want to do now with her life, her career, her whatever that is. Like the passion clearly for what we do. There's a passion for other things as well, and so it comes down to what does she want to do? Because it's got to be right for her, got to be right for everybody. But she is. I think, as you've seen over the course of her career of just coming into the PC and NXT, is just an unbelievable performer that I believe in with everything I have. That is one of the biggest stars in our business. So it's just what she wants to do.
Braun Strowman?
Braun Strowman, we'll see. Again, a conversation. It's funny, he's like a polarizing person a little bit sometimes in the business, but for a guy his size and what he brings to the table as an amazing athlete, you don't see too many guys that big, that fast, that have big personalities. It's funny, I remember the first time I met him, he came to the PC for a visit. Never done this before, was a strong man. He weighed like 430 pounds or something like that. And I just remember being like, Jesus, this guy is huge, but I don't really care, And then I talked to him for 15 minutes and saw his personality. He's just got this big booming voice and this big, huge personality, and he's laughing, and he's just like, I was like, oh, this guy's like larger than life. And at the time, the guy that was running development with me came to me, and he was like, I don't know, a lot of mileage, a lot of issues there. And I was like, dude, he's custom made for what we do. His size, his personality, all that stuff, like, let's give him a shot. Still feel that way with him. If this is what he wants to do with the highest of levels, then I would like nothing more than to give him another shot.
Second to last one, dying to ask you this one, Bray Wyatt.
I was going to say, I would imagine the last two, but I'll let you get there. One of the most, I mean this in the best way possible, crazy creative people I've ever been around. Mind just never stops thinking of creative, but it's like being in a whirlwind of stuff. So without the harness and without somebody to point the tornado, it's just all over the place. And like, he's a victim of his own mind and is creative, and it's just everywhere. But I love working with him. I loved working with him, down there, and even just being a small part of, as he was creating the Bray Wyatt character and moments of just helping to harness his, I have no idea where some of the concepts and thoughts come from in his head, like some crazy place, right? But they're wonderfully crazy, but you just have to be able to, like at some point, so all right, just stop thinking and let's do this. Because 5 minutes later, he'll be like, never mind all that other stuff. I got this crazy idea. And he's off on something else, right? But he's a wonderfully free-flowing, creative mind. As long as you can harness him, it's an amazing thing. It's just harnessing him takes a lot of work.
I'm not sure if that was a yes or a no.
It is neither.
Okay.
It is neither. But like, I think it should be clear that, like, to me, I see the talents. Sometimes those talents are difficult to work with. What's language restrictions in your show?
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, so I've always gone by the mantra that if somebody says to me, that guy's an asshole, like, yeah, but he's my asshole, right? Somebody can be difficult to work with. But that's kind of the fun of it. Like, let's go for all these people that everybody has quirks and things and thoughts, and but you communicate with each other and you create, you're collaborative with each other and you create. And to me, that's when this is the best, when you can fluidly, like a point and click is boring. I want to get the ideas from everywhere and collaborate and work together and figure out how to harness those ideas and put them on paper and get them on TV or social media or wherever we're going to do it and run with them. And so I don't care who comes up with the concept, the idea, or anything else. Like, let's go. So the people that are like that, the people that have that ability, that have that fire, man, let's go. So when you say those names to me, they're exciting names to me. It's a lot of work. A lot of work to get to where you want to be creatively with them. A lot of work to get them sometimes to want to run creatively.
That answer reminds me of Dumb and Dumber, where he says, so you're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance.
We'll leave it at
all
that.
of it.
By the way, now I feel pressure. I want to know who you think the last guy is. Because if
I'm not going to say now, because I'll throw one else at you, and then there'll be one more in addition to it. Yeah.
The Rock at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So.
Was that the one, by the way?
It was the one. Okay. Yeah, I figured that's what you were going to ask me. When you are maybe the most recognizable man on the planet, the most famous actor in Hollywood, probably the most in-demand social media influencer out there, you're busy. I also, and that busyness is fluid. In a moment's time, this seems like, man, I got to do this, and then something else comes along 30 seconds later because of the nature of what you do, and it's, I thought I had to do that, but I got to do this. It can change. A few years ago, he and I were going to work at WrestleMania, and we even shot the video for it, and we're ready to roll. And then in the course of the year that it was going to happen, it changed. The opportunity changed. I do know this, because I've had this conversation with him. At no time when Rock is making a movie in Hollywood does he stand in a position, pull off his elbow pads, and goosebumps fill his entire body because of the electricity that 100,000 people or whatever it is are giving him in that moment, and he passionately feels that like no one else. There is nothing else on the planet that gives you that rush that WWE gives you when you're standing in the center of that ring. And I know he knows that. So I know somewhere deep inside of him is that burning thing to go, oh, I gotta feel that one more time. I gotta get in there one more time because that clock is ticking on can he. Looks like $1 million, but believe me, you look you look as good as you are. You hit that canvas, stuff starts falling off that isn't supposed to fall off you. It's a tough business. The clock is ticking. So if there is a time, it is becoming now. And I know that there's a burning desire for him to take advantage of that time. It's just a matter of, can he harness all the other things to focus on that long enough for us to get it done? It's up to him. The platform is certainly there. WrestleMania, LA, 2 nights. We've already got 90,000+, I believe, sold.
His cousin.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all there.
Yeah, the tribal chief is sitting there waiting for him or anybody else that he wants to, right? It's magic of the highest of levels in the city that he has become in some manner king of, right? And to have that experience one more time, I know that's got to be burning a hole in him. I know that's got to be a desire. It's just, what else? What other things does he need to put aside, and can he, to make this all work? Because he's juggling a lot. So hopefully the answer is yes. I would love to see nothing more, but we'll see. So to quote you again, I'm saying there's a chance.
By the way, you just gave me chills. That was an incredible promo. I mean, you may not be wrestling anymore, but what you just talked about, the energy up and down his, you still got it.
A few years ago,
that was tremendous.
A few years ago, I was at a Grammys, whatever they call it, not the Grammys, Emmys. Mm-hmm. They do Emmy Awards and all the stuff, right? And we're at this red carpet event for it. And they got all these things laid out there, and they got a WWE moments and things. And there's a picture of Rock, and I believe he was standing over me. I don't recall, but it was a very close-up photo of him in an arena with us, and it's right when he's about to do the people's elbow. And I walk up to the picture to look at it, and he is covered with goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I used to lay there. I took the people's elbow a lot.
Yeah.
So I could wait in there for him to do all his rigmarole. And I'm looking up at him, and I would always think to myself, like, he's got goosebumps all over him. Like, he's just like, we're all just so into that connection with the fans. And so I took my phone out and took a close-up of it, and I sent it to him, and I sent him a note. I said, zoom in on your legs. Look at the goosebumps. You ain't getting that in Hollywood. This was like 4 years ago or whatever. He wrote me back immediately, dude, there's nothing. Like, when you've been there and you've done that, there's nothing else like it, and he knows that.